One of the beautiful things about bringing natural elements inside is that it not only softens the atmosphere of our homes, it can, if we let it, soften us as well. Nature is wild and can only be tamed so much. It reminds us to embrace the unexpected and imperfect, and in that surrender there is great beauty.
Hello my friends, welcome to the farmhouse. Today I'm going to be showing you how to create a pine or spruce garland to go on a fireplace mantle. So you're going to want to start out with lots of pine. I've got white pine, I've got balsam, I've got some cedar as well. We just gathered these from our property. We had some trees go down recently, unfortunately, but I know you can also find tree trimmings and such from tree lots, so make sure you check there, or maybe you have some friends or family that have some land where you can go and do a little bit of trimming. So what you're going to want for this project are some good scissors, some, this is like Florist wire. This is actually left over from our wedding, so we got a big pack and I'll have it probably for the rest of my life. And you'll need lots of pine, spruce, trimmings of whatever sort. And then you'll need a way to attach it to your mantle. So ours, we have like hooks all along kind of the underside of our mantle, but I know that there's also options for like the command strips. They make lots of good options as well. So find a way that won't damage your mantle and that will work for you. Now before we get started, if you are interested in DIY projects for your home, farming or homesteading, gardening, or just making a home a beautiful place, make sure you go ahead and subscribe. We're going to be putting out new videos regularly, and we're very excited for what the future of this channel will look like. When I was out trimming branches and such for this project, I wanted to look for one that was somewhat straight that I could kind of make my anchor for the whole piece. If you don't have something like that, you could always take just a regular stick. But you want something that's basically going to be the whole length of what you want. So I want something that's going to be the width of this mantelpiece here. And I found one that's rather long. It's a little bit too long, so I'm going to need to cut it down a little bit. But you want one piece, and then you're going to attach all your other pieces to that. I've got my one big piece here. Now I love all of these white pine needles and branches, but this one is obviously going to be a little too excessive, so I'm just going to go ahead and see if I can pop that off. And let's see, I'm going to want to pop that one off too, probably all of the bottom ones at least, so I have a relatively simple start. So you can see here it's entirely bare on that side, and there's a little bit on that end. I think I want the majority of it to be balsam, and then I'm going to fill in some white pine and cedar around that. So I'm going to change the angle of the camera, kind of give you a different view of what I'm doing so you can see a little closer.
So here I'm just pulling off these side branches on the larger ones so that I have these individual smaller ones to attach to my anchor. Go ahead and pre-cut about 10 sections of wire. Each one should be about 12 inches long. You may need to cut a few more, but that should give you a good start. I'm going to demonstrate what you'll be doing with the wire with this ribbon. It's just easier to see. So you're going to fold it in half so it makes a U at one end and the ribbons at the other end. So take that U and put it under the branches so you have your branch on top of your anchor piece, and then you'll take the ribbon ends and put it through the U. You'll then take those ribbons and pull upwards, and then you're going to go over that U, over the branches, and then around the branches so that it's all tightening on itself. And you can see here that I'm using this wire in that same method to attach the branches to my anchor. For the bare end of your anchor, you'll want to place a larger branch directly over your anchor in an outward direction. Now that I have quite a few branches attached to my anchor via that wire wrapping method, I'm just going to take these little bits and kind of shove them in between the branches. There's already a lot there, and so there's a lot of stability, and this is just a nice way to fill it out without having to wrap more wire. For the majority of this garland, I've been using balsam, which you can see by its flat, dark green needles. You can also identify it on the underside by a white racing stripe. It has a great, strong balsam scent, which is kind of that classic Christmas evergreen scent. This is white pine, which is known for its evergreen needles in clusters of 5, which are 2.5 to 5 inches long. I like the wispy, whimsical element that it adds to the garland. And lastly, I'm adding in some white cedar. The leaves are flat and scale-like with a medium green color. I like that they're feathery and soft, and they just add like a luxurious element to this garland. After hanging the garland, I took a couple extra sprigs to fill in any bare spots. There is much about living in an old farmhouse that forces you to embrace the imperfect and unexpected, and this garland is no different. It's full, it's a little wild, but it's beautiful and I love it.